Hello everyone, and welcome to today's class. Today we will be covering one small topic, and that is CEA. CEA stands for Children's Education Allowance. Before 7th CPC, Children Education Allowance as well as tuition fee were paid separately. After implementation of 7th CPC, both has been combined and is being paid and renamed as Children's Education Allowance. So we have opened the page of recommendation of 7 CPC and we'll be directly studying the main points from here. It is a very easy and simple topic. Hopefully we will be completing it within half an hour. Okay, so the important points that we will need are, I have already highlighted the important points, so let's just go through it. Reimbursement of Children's Education Allowance hostel subsidy can be claimed for two eldest surviving children. So it must be the first two eldest surviving children. Two eldest, okay? We have to remember this. This is important. With the exception. So we also have exception. And what are the exceptions? Exceptions are exception that in case the second child birth results in twins or multiple. So if during the second issue we have twins or multiple birth, only in that case there will be CEA will be provided to more than two surviving children. Also, there is one more exception, that is, in case of failure of sterilization operation, the CEA or hostel subsidy would be admissible in respect of children born out of first instance of such failure beyond the usual two children norm. So it will be allowed for the first instance only. The amount of reimbursement of children's education allowance will be 2,250 rupees per month per children. The amount of rupees 2,250 is fixed irrespective of the actual expenses incurred by the government servant. So, if actually the government servant has expenditure of only rupees 2,000, but still CEA at the monthly rate of 2,250 will be paid to the government employee. So likewise for 12 months it will stand to rupees 27,000. So yearly CEA of rupees 27,000 is being paid to all government employees. In order to claim reimbursement of CEA, the government servant should produce a certificate issued by the head of institution. So, along with the claim form, government servant need to provide a certificate issued by head of institution for the period for which the claim has been preferred. The certificate should confirm that the child studied in the school during the previous academic year. In case such certificate cannot be obtained, then a self-attested copy of the report card and self-attested fee receipts, including e-receipts, confirming indicating that the fee deposited for the entire academic year can be produced as a supporting document. So, what are the supporting documents? Either a certificate issued by a government or head of the institute, or copy of report card or fee submitted. Any one among the three can be produced by the government employee for claiming the reimbursement. The period here means academic year. Okay, so academic year here will be 12 months of complete academic session. That is, if the course is from January to December, then the academic year will be January to December, or in some courses like in CBSE, the academic year is usually April to March, whatever the case may be, depending upon the board, the academic year will be consist. The amount of ceiling of hostel subsidy is rupees 6,750. 6,750. So these are paid separately. What will be paid? One is 4 rupees 2,250, and another is hostel subsidy at the rate rupees 6,750. Okay, only these two are payable. In order to claim the reimbursement of hostel subsidy for an academic year, a similar certificate from the head of institution confirming that the child studied in the school will suffice, with additional requirement that certificate should mention the amount of expenditure incurred by the government servant towards lodging and boarding in the residential complex. In cases such certificate cannot be obtained, self-attested copy of the report card and original fee receipts, which should indicate the amount of expenditure incurred by the government servant towards lodging and boarding in the residential complex, can be produced for claiming hostel subsidy. The expenditure of boarding and lodging or the ceiling of rupees 6,750, whichever is lower. Okay, so here also again there is one exception. In case of the children education allowance, whatever amount may be, whatever amount may the government servant has incurred as expenses will not matter, but a whole of rupees 2,250 will be paid. But in this case, a lower exception is given, that is, either the amount of fee or rupees 6,750, whichever is lower. So if the hostel subsidy paid was rupees 5,000 per month, then instead of 6,750 rupees 5,000 will be paid. Whichever is lower clause is included here. Okay, in case of hostel subsidy, the reimbursement of children education allowance for Divyang children of government employees shall be payable at double the normal rates of CEA. So, for Divyang children, that is for specially abled children, double the amount of CEA is paid, double the normal rates of CEA, that is rupees 4,500. It may be a 1 mark question. Okay. The above rate ceilings would be automatically raised by 25% every time the DNS allowance on the revised pay structure goes up by 50%. So at present our DA is 53%. So both the CEA as well as hostel subsidy are raised up and is paid in excess of 25% of whatever its original amount is. Hostel subsidy and children's education allowance can be claimed concurrently. Can be, okay? That is, if a person is studying from boarding school, then he will be eligible for hostel subsidy as well as CEA. In case both the spouse are government employees, only one of them can avail the reimbursement. Okay? A declaration generally when both husband and wife are a government servant, we generally take one declaration that who among them will be claiming all the allowances like LTC, CEA, medical, etc. on behalf of the other. Likewise, they will produce one declaration regarding who will be claiming CEA. Reimbursement of CEA and hostel subsidy will be done just once in a financial year after completion of the financial year. So, it will be done once. One time payment in a financial year. Once. Hostel subsidy is applicable only in respect of child studying in a residential educational institute located at least 50 kilometers from residence. Hostel subsidy will be paid only when hostel is at least 50 kilometers away from residence. If the school is within 50 kilometers, then hostel subsidy will not be paid. The reimbursement of children education allowance and hostel subsidy shall have no nexus with the performance of the children in his class. Even if a child fails in a particular class, then also he will be eligible for reimbursement of CEA. Okay. However, if a child is admitted in the same class, if he is admitted in the same class in another school, although the child has passed out the same class in previous school or in the mid session, CA shall not be reimbursable. So, failure is not a criteria. If he fails, CEA will be paid. But repeating one class, CA will not be paid. If a government service if a government servant dies, that is expires, while he is in service, CEA or hostel subsidy shall be admissible in respect of his or her child, subject to observance of the conditions for grant provided the wife has for its grant provided the wife or husband of the deceased is not employed in the service of central government, state government, autonomous body, etc. If a government servant dies, then it will be CA will be paid to his spouse only if he or she is not employed in any other government services which is having such facilities of CA. In such cases, the CEA hostel subsidy shall be payable to children till such time the employee would have actually received the same, subject to condition that other terms and conditions are fulfilled. So here the terms and conditions are only one, that the spouse shall not be employed under any state government or PSU or central government job. Okay, if he is or she is not employed, then the child is eligible for CEA till the time the employee would have actually received. So if he would have been in service, then as according to his length of service, the CEA will be payable to the child. In case of retirement, discharge, dismissal, or removal from service, CA hostel subsidy shall be admissible till the end of the academic year. So, if in the mid of academic year a government servant is retired or discharged or dismissed or removed from service, then CA will be provided till the end of the academic year, in which the government servant ceases to be in the service due to retirement, dismissal, etc. Here also and always the payment shall be made by the office in which the government servant worked prior to such events. Now come the age limit. So age limit is important. For the young children, the age limit is set as 22 years. In case of other children, the age limit will be 20 years. So only for specially abled, it is 22 years. Otherwise, generally, it is 20 years of age, or till the time of passing 12th class. So important criteria are 20 years or up to class 12, whichever is earlier. There shall be no minimum age. Okay, so at whatever minimum age, the child can be admitted to his pre-primary classes and he will be eligible for CEA. The reimbursement of CEA and hostel subsidy shall be applicable for children from class nursery to 12th, including class 11 and 12th held by junior colleges or school affiliated to universities or board of education. Previously, it was eligible from class 1 to 10 and 11, 12. That is plus 2. And prior to class 1, it was eligible for 2 classes before class 1. But now, in 2024, one latest notification has come out, and the notification is about Bal Vatika, which consists of plus 3 classes before class 1. So now, as per the new notification, let's find out, let's go to the new notification. Yes, so here is the office memoranda from issued on 14th March 2024. It says that CEN hostel subsidy is admissible in respect of children studying from 3 classes before class 1 to 12th standard. Okay, initially it was 2 years, now it has been changed from 2 years to 3 classes before class 1. So it's plus 3, then 1 to 10, and again plus 2. Okay, next is CA is allowed in case of children studying through correspondence or distance learning, subject to other conditions laid down. So, even if a student is a student of NIUS, which is an open institute, then also he or she shall be eligible for CA. The CA and hostel subsidy is admissible in respect of children's studies studying from 2 classes before class 1 or 12, and also for the initial 2 years of a diploma certificate course from Polytechnic, ITI, Engineering College. If the child pursues the course after passing class 10 standard and the government servant has not been granted CEA hostel subsidy in respect of the children for studies in 11th and 12th. So it's the same thing which we have discussed above, just that it shall be plus 3 before class 1 to 10 and plus 2 after class 10. In respect of schools institute at nursery, primary and middle level not affiliated to any board of education, the reimbursement under the scheme may be allowed for the children studying in a recognized school institution. So for primary classes, school may not be affiliated. Okay. The only requirement is this, the CEA will be allowed for children studying in a recognized school. So if the school is recognized, then only we can be able to pay the CEA. Recognized school institute in this regard means a government school or any education institute, whether in receipt of government aid or not, recognized by central or state government or union territory. In case of Divyang children studying in an institute that is aided or approved by central, state, or UT, or whose fees are approved by any of these authorities, CEA paid by the government servant shall be reimbursed irrespective of whether the institution is recognized or not. In such cases, the benefits will be admissible till the child attains the age of 22 years. We have already read that for Divyang children, the maximum age eligibility is 22 years. Otherwise, for normal, it is 20 years. CA is payable for the children of all central government employees, including citizens of Nepal and Bhutan. Okay. Even if Nepal and Bhutan are beyond the boundaries and it is in other countries, international countries, still all the citizens from Nepal and Bhutan who are employees of Government of India and whose children are studying in the native place are eligible for CEA payment. However, a certificate may be obtained from the concerned Indian mission that the school is recognized by the educational authority having jurisdiction over the area where the institution is situated. CEA or hostel subsidy shall be admissible to government servant while he or she is on duty or is under suspension or is on leave, including extraordinary leave. So even if the government servant is on leave or suspension, he'll be eligible for CEA. But here the only exception is the period of diaznon. When a government service is in diaznon, he or she shall not be eligible for the CEA hostel subsidy for that given period. So here the only exception is diaznon. Other than diaznon, CEA is payable for all other instances. The above instruction would come into effect from 1st July 2017. So it is 1st of July 2017, that is after 7th CPC. So that's all for CA, and this much I guess will be enough. There is nothing else which could be asked for the topic of CA. So you may just go through it once. I'll share this. Okay. So that's all for today. Thank you all. Thank you everyone.